I painted the screw for this Hoover Caddy Vac. This is the screw that holds the two halves together. You can see this thing is looking pretty good because I actually used polish and polished this piece and this piece, so now it like kind of took off the faded layer. Then there's also a protective wax on there, so it's like super smooth. And it actually did take out some of the really fine scratches. Obviously, with plastic, you can't polish for too long, otherwise you will start kind of making it weird. But as long as you're careful with it, you can, and don't just rub on your stickers for too long, because they are lasered on, so you can go over them to get like the blue in between everything. But yeah, it was like kind of getting faded, and the only way I could get it to look good was by using that clip wax. And that clip wax is kind of just a band-aid to make it look better, so I wanted to make it look kind of permanently good. I've also been using the Power Speed, which I just posted the unboxing of it. I vacuumed my mom's room with it. It's a $50 machine that's actually not too bad. So, also this thing pretty clean. When I got the Power Speed, I got some Hoover YZ bags, which doesn't make any sense because they're two different bags. But so how you do this basically, I also painted the nut. So you see, it just goes in there. I painted the nut black, but I painted the screw like probably it looks nothing like this blue. But I didn't feel like going to the store just for one screw, so. Though I have done that before. I did it with my clean view. Okay, now, basically do this is you just slide the screw through here. I don't really know how to film this. Oh, 1 second, guys. Okay, just slide it in there like that. Once you get it in there like that, then you gotta thread it in still a little bit. The reason I painted this screw is because it's super rusty, and I mean, I still cleaned it off with a wire brush as much as I could, and then cleaned it with rubbing alcohol, and just all that average stuff. I only painted the threads so that they wouldn't continue rusting, or at least slow down the rust. You don't really need it that tight. Well, you guys do get the point, so I'm going to sit you down so I can get it nice. That looks a hell of a lot better. And yeah, no, it's nowhere near the same blue, but it still looks better. And no more rusty nut. And this base, I didn't clean too much. And I've gotten to the conclusion, oh god, I didn't even notice all this in there. I've come to the conclusion that this thing needs probably a new end bearing, but at least a grease of the end bearing on the motor. It's super dry, like you can spin it with your finger and it'll spin for a solid 8 seconds. So, gotta explain why this thing sounds a little scratchy sometimes. So, yeah. You can tell I'm not too talented with polishing. You can see, you can kind of tell where I polished a little bit too aggressively. But yeah. Definitely going to try this on the Victory, because everywhere else it's nice and glossy, and then on the hood for some reason it's like super faded on the Victory. So probably going to try this on the Victory and hopefully get as good of results as I do with this. Also, I sealed up the fan. I couldn't find my seal maker that I have, so I had to use that silicone adhesive, which works good enough. So at least it's going to be sealed up better, because it was getting to the point where sand was actually kicking out of here. So, not like that's going to make this thing any better. These things are horribly unsealed. But, yeah. And these were just $3 for 3-pack bags. They're just cheap bags, but they do seem kind of like, they're not too horribly papery. And I still have the bag that this thing came with, because this and the Legacy came from the same seller, and he sent them both with a brand new bag in them. And this is the bag that it came with, and I am going to keep it in case I ever do like something that's going to be, you know, super dirty. Just because this bag's already completely dirty, and I don't want to mess up another bag, any of my new bags. So yeah. This takes a Type Z bag. I don't get the whole YZ thing, because I'm pretty sure they're two totally different sizes. If I didn't show in the video, the unboxing, that's the manual for the Power Speed, which is actually a decent manual. I also got some Hoover Style 7 belts. This is one of them, and I put one of them on the Hoover Whole House too, because you guys might know by now that I pretty much use the Style 7 belts on everything because I just don't care. So I pretty much use whatever belts I have, but usually if I'm going out to buy belts, it's a Style 7 belt. But yeah, now I'm pretty happy with this Power Speed so far. You know, I really liked my light speed, and this thing has everything I liked about my light speed and more. So yeah. And then I still have my max performance, well, 2 max performances, because obviously this won't do hard floors that well, so I still need a good hard floor machine. But yeah, otherwise I'm pretty much going to be using this as my daily driver. So I also put this, wash the filter. I did polish this piece as well, and it turned out super nice. This turned out better because I was a little more, I did that piece first, and then I'm like, oh, I think I've gotten the hang of this. But yeah, God, does it look nice. It looks so much better. It was so faded, dude. You guys probably never noticed because I always put some of my quick wax on there for the video, for videos, so it didn't look super horrible, because it was kind of embarrassing how much, well, I spent $70 on this thing, and it's, you know, I've had to do quite a bit to get it to where it is now, so. And even, I actually washed this in the deep sink in the basement, and you can see that water doesn't always do everything for you, but it got most of everything, because cleaning and all these were, I washed this filter. Basically how these machines work, they work like the other Hoovers, like my Hoover Legacy, it works just like that, but instead of venting through a cloth bag, it vents through this little square here, so it's still direct air and it still blows out the bag. It doesn't pull the dirt through into the bag, it blows, it pushes the dirt into the bag instead of pulling it into the bag, if that makes any sense. So that's the vacuum of the week right now. You guys, I think I've explained it enough. Basically, the base is falling apart on it, so I just gutted the whole bare floor system. Used some silicone adhesive to hold the gray plastic piece in. Just took the whole pulley system off that gray plastic piece, glued it in, and now it works pretty much just like that, or my Hoover Rewind. So it still works good. I still use it. It's just no more bare floor feature. Plus, this side can't screw it down anymore because it's broken. So this side will lift up a little bit sometimes. The base is falling apart, the rest of it's fine. But I put a new Bissell Style 7 belt on there, and then, see, that's the belt that was on there. It's a Eureka Style J belt, I think, or something like that. And see, before, there was this metal guide on there that was rubbing on this belt. I took that out when I put that silicone adhesive on there, but then I still use this belt for a little bit, so yeah, but it's pretty stretched out and it was starting to slip a lot, so got myself some Style 7 belts. One other thing I buy Bissell Style 7 belts for everything is because they're really easy to find. You know, Bissell's are probably some of the most popular, most bought vacuums ever made these days. Like, they're very popular now. And they're still outrunning a lot of... I still think Bissell's better than Eureka. I just couldn't find one of the newer... I want the Bissell Cleanview, the cheap Bissell Cleanview. It's like red. Yeah, it's red and black, I think. Backmaster has it. Good budget machine from what he said. He got this one too and he liked it. So, and he recommended it to me a while back, and I just couldn't afford it then, so just bought it. $50, then the bags and the belts, so my total on the receipt was like 60. So obviously this was $140, and then I have 2 of them now. The other one was technically sent here using the warranty on that, because I'm like, dude, the base on this thing's falling apart after a year and a half. And they're like, okay, so we'll send you a new machine, and they were gonna send me one of those, and they told me it was out of stock, and I'm like, okay. So I sent them the Home Depot variant of that, because that's the Walmart variant, so I sent them the Home Depot variant. And they said, oh, that one's in stock, but instead of that, we're gonna send you the new Hoover Intel Max Performance. And I'm like, first of all, it's not new, and second of all, I already have one of those, and third of all, that's not what I want. But they took it upon themselves to send it to me anyways, so by the time I said that's not what I want, it was too late and they already shipped it. So I like these newer Hoovers. This one I do like still, just disappointed in how much the base is falling apart on it. There could have been cracks on it from the day that this thing arrived. I mean, the box was super beat up, just didn't notice anything until a month ago. But I mean, the first day I had this thing, I needed to clean the belt because there was something on the belt that was making it slip a shit ton, and it was just like packaging dust. So I had to take off this bottom plate, and the 2 tabs that hold the bottom plate on broke. First day of ownership. First day of ownership. Like, are you kidding me? Obviously those aren't necessary because screws hold on the bottom, but oh, and yesterday I had to clean on the top of my sister's shelves in her bedroom, and I used this brush. Instead of using the brush that this has, I just used that brush on this machine. For the first time, I had never used that brush. And then on that machine, I also use this worn out turbo brush, which has cracks where it clamps down. So yeah, it's pretty beat up. Like, this machine has gotten a lot of use, especially the attachments on it. Turbo brush mostly. This thing just got used, but the extension one and crevice tool have gotten used a shit ton. The hose has been used a shit ton. But when I first got this thing, I wrapped the tapes in electrical tape, or the wheels in electrical tape. You can see how beat up the electrical tape is, and I'm sure it wouldn't be perfect underneath here, but I bet underneath this electrical tape, these wheels are actually in decent condition. So yeah. So whenever this base just totally gives out, you know, at least I'll still have a good set of wheels, because I do know how to get these wheels off. And with this, I also wrap the wheels with electrical tape. Because even for a $50 machine, I just like keeping them in good shape. You can see, look at that. It's already peeling from a couple uses. And that would be a scratch instead of peeling electrical tape. So there's these little notches in the wheels, and I just had to kind of push it in. I didn't even do that on this side. Oh, no, I did. In some spots. And then I also have the adjustment wheels. It's got the same pedal setup what the Bissells have. God, I'm not excited about this machine. Like, I love orange when it's not excessive. Yes, you guys are probably thinking, dude, your vacuum room is orange. And I did that because I knew in the future I was going to have this room. Yes, I slept in that room for a while along with my vacuums, but I knew that eventually I was going to get this room, and that was going to be my vacuum room. So it was just like, well, I think orange would be a cool color as walls for my vacuum room. My options were orange, because I wanted it to be color, and I chose myself some options. I said orange, blue, or gray. And I'm like, let's do orange. But yeah, this thing I'm pretty excited about. It actually works pretty well. In the unboxing video for it, I think I ran it in here. And then I've also used it on my mom's room. One thing I don't like is that this cyclone assembly doesn't lock in or anything, so whenever you try to go to pop the filter out, I also did this, don't even ask. I did it so that I don't have to wash this filter so soon. I mean, look at it. And this foam piece does come out of here. This is better than the Bissell's in my opinion, because the Bissell's, it's just a piece of foam. I think it's nice that there's a piece of plastic around it so that it seals in there better, because a lot of the times with the Bissell's, dust gets around the foam. So, and in the future, I'd like to try one of the new, I think Rackmaster recommended the Bissell Allergen Pet, I think. is what he said. And then also I want to try the Power Clyde. I also want to try the Power Lifter. And I also want to try the just standard budget Clean View that Bissell sells. So yeah. This is just some random packaging foam that we had. But it kind of helps. Because this thing has horrible cyclonic action. Better than the Lightspeed. And then I think that's a suction release valve there. You can see this doesn't, cyclone assembly doesn't lock in. But I'm excited to have a vacuum that I don't worry about as much. I'm still going to maintain it, but like, I'm like this one, I'm always like kind of protective about it. I've only let my sister use it once, and after she used it, I'm like, nope, never again. Obviously I let her use that one because it's already kind of falling apart. So just the base. I mean, the upper half is good, and once the base does finally go, I'm just going to get a base for it so that I can still get the use out of the good upper half. And I'm just going to get like a standard Hoover base that doesn't have the bare floor thing. But yeah. Ooh, scared me. It's got the rubber seals. It has the foam seal here, just like the newer Clean Views and the newer Hoovers do. They all probably come from the same factory. Yeah. I like this button. Obviously, no other filters or anything. It's not a seal system. I always feel air coming out of here, but if I ever do take this down to the motor, I'm going to cut out myself like a carbon. We have like carbon pads that we get from my dad's work, and because they have like carbon filters for keeping the air clean where he works, and he always gives us some for us to play with. So I'd cut up a little shape, and then I'll just somehow like kind of tape it on to the inside here to kind of give me some filtration right here, because that's where most of the air comes from. Some does come out back here, but not much. It's kind of just where the switch comes through the motor housing. It doesn't seal around the switch as well. Everyone thinks this orange piece is the switch, but this orange piece just presses down on the switch. And this feels really nice quality compared to the Bissell's. At least the Bissell equivalent of this. I thought Bissell owned Eureka, but apparently they're owned, yeah, Bissell owned Eureka. I thought, but they own Sanitaire, and I'm kind of confused about that because I'm pretty sure Sanitaire and Eureka and Electrolux are all the same thing. Eureka is the home, Electrolux is the deluxe, and then Sanitaire is the commercial. I don't know, but all I know is I like this machine. It is all I could find. Home Depot didn't have the biggest selection. God, I don't know if my mom's losing her mind or what, but she said, oh, maybe we could get this one. And I'm like, Mom, I already got 2 of those. But yeah, I ended up getting this without hesitation, because I've been wanting to try one ever since they came out. It's like the only Eureka I've been willing to try. Though, what is that one Eureka? Max Swivel. I mean, I've been waiting for it to come in stock, and once it is, I'm probably going to buy it because it's impressive. VacMaster always manages to find a vacuum better than a budget vacuum. Another budget vacuum to beat the budget vacuum. And he was really impressed with the Max Swivel too. And then, of course, this freaking stupid little Bissell Power Swift thing comes in. Then again, that also seems really nice, so maybe I'll try one of those someday, but I can't burn through my money that quick. I did make some spending money over the summer doing my lawn mowing business, but don't want to spend it all on vacuum cleaners, no matter how much I want to. But yeah, luckily this thing is usable again now, which I'm kind of psyched on because I do want to get some of these white scratches that are throughout it. All you do is use an abrasive sponge. Let's see if I can get whatever. Oh, I don't know. But yeah. I also washed the Hoover Caddy vac, or the Hoover Caddy, in the sink because it was super dusty back in here and it cleaned up pretty well, so. I didn't wash any of the attachments because there's only 2 attachments and they weren't that dirty. Stuff there too, just a few. But again, I only paid $70 for this, so 70 can be spendy, but I mean, a lot of people are asking $80 for, you know, the older Bissell Power Force bag, so it wasn't horrible. And this thing is not very easy. They're not very easy to find in this condition. So I don't know if this Hoover was made by Maytag. I know it wasn't made by TTI, but they were owned by something before. It was sticky. It was like something sticky. They were owned by something shortly before Maytag, and I can't quite remember what it was, but it was a Europe company, I believe, back when like the Hoover convertibles were made. I don't think Hoover convertibles were made by Maytag. I believe they were made by a company in Europe or Australia or some kind of European. Well, yeah, Australia. I don't even know. I'm not really good with my social studies. It's like my worst grade in school. Not sponsored. God, is Gatorade Zero way better than normal Gatorade. Normal Gatorade is just loaded with unhealthy, shitty, stupid tasting sugar. I still have my, every once in a while, unhealthy moves like, pizza. I just had a pizza. Yeah. Maybe I should vacuum real quick. I think I'm gonna just title this video Random Rambling and Vacuuming. What vacuum should we use? Let's use the Power Speed. I did use it in the video for the, what? God, am I lazy. Damn. This bag can actually be used for the little trash can once I go downstairs to get it back. But yeah, I used this in my mom's room yesterday. God, does it just pull itself along the carpet. It's super nice to use. It's obviously got the foot switch. Make sure none of my foam is sticking out too much because it'll go right down the intake pipe, and I don't want to take this thing apart right after a couple days of ownership. I'm going back to school tomorrow. Well, not public school, but or face-to-face, whatever you want to call it. Sorry, Mr. Max. It's actually not as loud as you would think. And if I didn't mention the unboxing, you can hook the hose up right here. All you do is push on that orange thing, which is nice because then when you're doing your stairs, you don't got to have this handle in the way. And I actually trust this bin handle. It actually feels nice and sturdy. I tried using that bin handle once, but the rest of the machine's so heavy that this bin like actually popped out without me even pressing that. So, and the machine almost fell down the stairs. And I did not want that because it would probably fall apart. Yeah, probably. This thing wouldn't. That thing definitely would. This or my Legacy would not fall apart because they're light. And usually the lighter vacuum it is, the more it has a chance of surviving at a fall. You know, this thing's fairly light, so it probably wouldn't be affected very much. I can't remember how much pounds it is. It's not really that much. Pulls itself along the carpet. It's got good agitation. I actually want the budget Clean View before this generation. Guys, take a vote. Does it always seem like someone has to freaking arrive when I'm filming? Hello?
I need to do a second vacuuming.
Good girl. Can't get mad at her for doing that. Tell me if it works better with the new belt. See? finally, she's, you know, starting to do her chores when she's supposed to. And then my mom. I'm gonna try getting back in there with the hose. We'll use the dusting brush to agitate it a little bit because it's not a very good dusting brush. I mean, it'll dust, but not very much. Sounds like it's working better. I'll have to see if this thing can go more than a year without the base falling apart. And then it'll be clear that it's better than a Hoover. Just kidding. This hose, like, it looks like it would be a really nice long hose, but it so far isn't that long. It isn't that stretchy, but it is like a nicer quality hose. Then the crevice tool is one of the short, stubby ones that the Bissells have, but I mean, it's a little bit longer, and the crevice tool portion's long, and the opening is fairly big, so it might be good for mess tests. If I end up doing mess tests with this, I might do like simple ones like coins, like I did with my power broom, or just little bits of dirt with the hose. I don't like doing it with a brush roll because chances are you're gonna ruin your bristles and just, yeah. See, and it's got the orange clip, orange button, like stained orange there, orange power button, and orange that, and then most of it's black, which I like. It was all orange and then black accents, man. And then right next to this had the Home Depot that we were at. It was the upgraded version in blue, and it had like LED lights, and it was tempting, but it was $100, and then after tax, along with the other stuff I was getting, it would be like $110. So I just was not really looking to do that, especially when I've been wanting one of these. And it's just LED lights and that big silly window like this in front. And it's this one I like it because it's stained red, and if the stain's not going anywhere, it might just get hazed. So yeah. So yeah. And then obviously this thing I'll just be using for hard floors, or whenever I feel like doing other detail, you know, stuff that this might come in handy, or that might come in handy, or a better extension line. And we got this thing, which is just awesome. And here, oh, I should have vacuumed this. I got the Victory Legacy, which also needs end bearing work. And I'm also going to be cleaning that one just like I did that one. Maybe polish this green, even though it's not that faded. Then again, that's because I just did the wax thing, this stuff on it. This is my secret to making vacuums look good. Maybe for a short period of time, you know, maybe not that long, but if you know, every time I get a brand new machine, I instantly use that stuff on every window so that it will last a while. I'm just going to set this, I'm going to fold it up and put it in the bag section. And then move the smart vac to here. Those all right there. Garbage. No, I think. Tristan! Just bring the freaking thing in.
He works like a charm.
Does it work better now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the belt slipping.
Sounded like
Yeah. I know it.
like what it used to before it like chipped all that.
Yeah, no, it's falling apart, but it still kind of works. What? Yeah. Yep. Princess Baker, go subscribe.
I don't want to do YouTube.
Well, maybe
like
if you
my
guys
baby.
subscribe, if you subscribe enough, maybe she'll consider.
Maybe when I'm older. Mom said I should probably do YouTube when I'm like your age.
Yeah. You know, not with. Right now would be too early with all the creeps these days.
Yeah. Like when I was 4, like my mom, like I don't know if I asked or I don't know what to ask.
Yeah, you did. You would just be like, hey, can I post this video? God, did you make some random videos to post? Like, can I post this video of me just like holding a doll in front of the camera?
Yeah. The only like good video that got probably the most views, which is subscribe to Drea Rises because she was a feature in my video. She's actually an auntie.
Duh. You mentioned it in that video.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's just a random 23-year-old that we hang out with. Okay.
She's 26.
Is she? Yeah. She looks younger. I don't really pay attention to our family's age. Alright, now you gotta go.
Wait, what are you reviewing?
I'm not reviewing anything, I'm just.
Oh.
It's kind of just a random vlog thing. She's a talker. I know we don't really trust her on YouTube yet just because creeps. That settings, how that works. It's actually lifting up the carpet. So definitely works good. I like that it just has 3 lines instead of the average like 5. Because there's only like 3 of those bars on the bottom. Or 2 of those bars. Which separates it into 3 grooming lines. But yeah, fluffs up the carpet real well. I mean, look how my feet just instantly mat it down. Look at that! Oh, that is so weird. But yeah. In some spots, it mats it, and then in some spots, it'll fluff it. Like right there, it fluffed it. And then, yeah, I don't know, it's weird. Like wherever you see it's dark, that means it fluffed it. And wherever you see light, that means it matted it. So it's weird. This carpet, there's really no good way to fluff it perfectly. But yeah, got 2 vacuum boxes. Technically, there's another one of these. out in the garage because I have 2 Max Performances. That's the new one right there, which I still haven't used. There's no point. I don't want 2 Max Performances scratched up and used. I wasn't excited about having 2 of them because it is kind of cool to have one that I can just collect and then one that I can still use as my daily driver. So this thing just sits right in front of the light, see? And that just always kind of scatters all over the room. Technically, it's a smart vac. Let's go here. Because all my bagged machines go over here. Besides a few Kirby's. Kirby's have their own wall. Of course, the G4 had to go and fuck everything up. But yeah, and then this is the herd of plastic. Yep, this Lightspeed is the only reason I considered the Powerspeed, because I knew the Powerspeed had the lightweight design that I really like. Still might like my Lightspeed more. It's still kind of like more nimble, a little more narrow. Like this one's actually, it's actually surprisingly wide. It's the same as that. This thing is stupidly wide. And all that. I'm just gonna wrap this up. And cords are all like kinked from being wrapped up in the box. Luckily, this must have been put on the shelf recently because the belt doesn't stretch out. Usually, or it doesn't have like that random lump in it that makes it go like because usually they have a lump wherever it was sitting on the axle. So this one's got pretty bad static like the Max Performance. Look at the cute little motor housing. It's got the clear tube here. I know serial number. Yeah, I don't really know how to read these, but I'm assuming it was a 2020 model. I think that's 60th day of 2020. I don't know. Yeah. The electrical taped all the wheels and you can barely tell. I mean, I guess you can. But these ones you can't really tell at all. It's got just a standard brush roll. God, does this thing have some annoying static. Most cheap vacuums have worse static, even though this is the first, like, more expensive budget machine that I've had. Like, it's budget, but still expensive. Oh, God. My sister's always causing trouble. Okay, so, yeah, that's, like, the first budget machine that I've had, but still, like, in the $100 price range. And okay, that's had the static problem. Like this one's really staticky. Not even on the bottom. It's like everywhere else. But this one's got it on the bottom. I'm assuming it takes a Eureka style U-belt, but if I end up putting a new belt on it, you guys already know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a style 7 belt. So, because those are the easiest to find. I've been struggling to find the belts that Hoovers recommend you put on there, and U-belts I can still find easily, but yeah. Man, this motor spins really nice. My sister. So this does have like the cheesier wheels. I wish they were axle mounted. Like this one's got like metal axles. This one's got a metal axle that holds it onto the base. That's what they should have, not this clunky business. All right, so sorry about that. Basically, oh my God, Why does my family have to choose to be completely freaking mentally challenged when I decide to make a video? Alright. Literally, I don't film that often. I don't know what might be right behind there. There's like a little dimple. Wonder what that is. But yeah, it's got a little 8 amp. This confusing. Made in Vietnam. I don't really know why it was made in Vietnam, because these cheap vacuums are always made in China. So that was weird. I mean, some Hoovers are made in USA. My Power Dash Pet is made in USA. You would think it would be a little nicer quality, but yeah, I got a little bit of paint on my hand. But yeah. Yeah, if you look down in here, I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's the switch, and it kind of leaks around the switch. Is the only thing. But yeah. So yeah, and this is not the vacuum leaking dust. This is static, static, static. Look how much dirt this thing's already picked up, and I've only owned it for not that long. It's already picked up quite a bit. Wonder how much she's picked up with this thing. Oh wow, that new belt helped. This was empty. This is just from today, or just from when she just vacuumed. Oh, that was. But yeah, I am very much, I'm so far impressed with this machine. A lot better than I thought it was going to be. I was going to buy it either way, but I was under the impression that it was just going to kind of be a, vacuum that I collect. But this is actually one that I've decided that I want to use because it actually kind of is my style. Like, I just like how it works. I've always kind of had a thing for the cheaper machines. They're just so simple and easy cleaning. And I mean, these are too, but they're still a little more complex than this is. Plus, this attachment is actually really good. Like, this has got to be one of the best upholstery attachments I've ever used. Used it on our couch in my dad's chair and a half last night, and I picked, a lot of that might be from those, like, just dust-wise. Because, yeah, this is honestly better than some turbo brushes. And then the crevice tool's decent, I've used that. Dusting brush is almost like another upholstery tool, honestly. And I like the feature that you can pull this down and lift your handle up, if that wasn't on here. But yeah, it's definitely seems like it's going to be a machine that lasts me a while. I'm sure the first thing that's going to happen is these wheels are going to fall off. But yeah, I've used this design once. That's why there's a little bit of dust in there. I like the handle. Kind of gives me like Isla Power Force compact vibes. And this is like a mid-sized machine. It's not really a full size, though it probably holds more dirt than either of these two do. It is kind of, it's got a little bit of looseness, but you don't want it to be too horribly tight just because you will be taking it out every once in a while to use it, so yeah. Whoa, what the hell? I'm never used to that. But yeah, I like this so far. I don't really know why I would really not like it. I know this like random textured spot is where the window would be, I believe. And it does have a smaller base like short wise. Now let's see what the width difference is. A little bit of a width difference. I'm sure the filter is a mess. Just set on like that. This does have that thing that I don't like where you actually have to pull plastic. I prefer when it's like a push or like that, which looks like a pull tab, but it's not. It actually springs inwards. Oh yeah. So this is probably gonna have to be washed fairly often. Our house gets more dust than it does anything else. More dust and more pet hair. So. It's got a really weird cyclone design. The dirt actually goes in there. And then, oh God, it's so weird. Then, oh, it's just weird. Really weird. But yeah, I still want to try out Cleanview, pretty much the equivalent to this, but from Bissell. Yeah, Eureka's went downhill in quality, but I would still say this one's a decent buy. I still like my Hoovers, but this was just something I wanted to try. So I officially own 4 of these newer Hoovers, so it was worth trying something new. What do you think, Ishan? It's 28 carpet monsters. God, he's such an old ass. Are you old? Are you old? He's old. Shen. He's like, damn, just let me sleep. But I kind of like this. Ooh. No, just let me sleep. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this random video and stay tuned for more.